Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. I'm your host, Mike Luke. All right, Jason, do I sound a little bit better than I've sounded the previous couple days?
You sound how you look, Mike.
And that is not good. That is not what I was going for there, Jason. Scheer, a man of many insults and not anything nice. Oh, Jacob Franklin.
No, I didn't say that.
Hello, Jacob Franklin. Can I add you to the screen, Jacob Franklin? Jacob Franklin is entering the chat as we speak. I'm just kidding. He has given me the death eye. We will not join Jacob Franklin. All right. We've got a lot to get to this show. We are going to talk about football, basketball, and by popular demand, the great Erica Day will be back tomorrow. Also, Tony Jones in the chat. Tony Jones in the chat. Tony Jones, Scheer and I were very worried yesterday. Very worried. Do you want to, Scheer, do you want to explain what we were worried about with Tony Jones?
Well, we don't have, on the practice field, it's hard to see things sometimes. So the first thing you do is you look for who's missing, and nobody saw AJ. And we were like, oh, no. Is AJ gone?
Message Tony Jones. And I was like, no.
Message Tony right now. We need to fix this. And then we saw AJ. He was a little injured. So there we go.
All right, Tony, we'll be honest here. We had a freak out about this, but again, that was very good. Very good to see you, my friend. All right, we got a lot to get to this show, but first, let's talk a little bit of Arizona football and the transfer portal. Yesterday was a very, very good day for Arizona football. Now, again, anything can change. Totally get all of that, but everybody of impact was at practice, whether they were actually playing or whether they were watching, with some various injuries. Everybody was there, and this also shows a little bit of the quiet optimism that the staff has had behind the scenes about being able to keep this roster intact, Scheer.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what I, was told by a member of the coaching staff, which is basically like, we're going to lose a few guys, but we're going to make it out of this thing pretty good. And look, there's a lot of hype yesterday. There's still 14 more days of this. So it's not over by any means, but yeah, I mean, to make it through the first day when you got other coaches trying to get after your guys and nobody of note is really gone, I think that says a lot.
Yes, that was very, very good. And again, there's going to be players, if you were to go onto some Washington message boards, they would have you believing that the entire team was going to Arizona. We will stand strong. We will stand strong. It is going to take a community effort. Tacario Davis, that is the one that is obviously the one that is on most people's minds, because let's be honest, no Fafita, T-Mac, they're not going anywhere. They are here. And we are grateful that they are here. But Tacario Davis is the one because, again, he is incredibly talented. He's an NFL-type defensive back. Arizona is very thin at the cornerback spot. We 1,000% need Tacario Davis to be back in the A next year.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's the big one. There's some other guys we were skeptical of and all that. Tacario's a big one because all of a sudden you lost your starting corners. It's one of those positions in the portal that's at a premium, so you're going to have to overpay now for a corner or whatever you want to call it. It's that to me is vital. That's the guy that I really have a close eye on. The other ones, no offense, but it's like they're probably replaceable or at least close to being replaceable in the portal.
All right, TLN, this is a very good question. I get this quite a bit, but it's also very interesting. So if Jed isn't getting T-Mac, why is he telling everyone he is? Because it's a big wiener contest. It's to look cool. It's to say that I have a lot of influence on that. But he has told a multitude of people this, Jason Scheer.
So from what I understand also, part of the job interview with Washington was Jed telling them that he would be good because he believed that they could bring a considerable amount of guys, and he did. He brought freshmen, but in terms of guys that are already on the team, I'm sure that he gave off the impression he would bring Noah and T-Mac and all that, and he's not going to.
And they said, no, we will have none of that. You can have some of these players, but again, you will not have all of them. We will give them a lot of kudos. Now, some of the other players to obviously keep an eye on throughout this that I think we were all very happy about was Matthew Lato was there. As was Raymond Polito. They were late arrivals, but better late than never. That looked good, at least that they were on the sideline.
Yeah, and I know there's some questions. Oh man, they're on the sideline. That could mean they're leaving. Leto had a wrap on his leg. Pulido had a very clear limp. I'll admit, Takario, I don't know the issue. He didn't have a cast or anything like that. I don't know. But the guys that were off to the side were all genuinely injured from what we could see.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about Damian Martinez actually bringing up Arizona. I like Damian Martinez. He's very good. The Oregon State running back has put Arizona in his top 4, but I do not want Damian Martinez. I've already got a stable of running backs that we are more than good with. I do not want Damian Martinez, no matter how good he is, Jason Scheer.
Look, I don't really know the whole story with Damian Martinez because the assumption by literally everyone is that he's going to Miami. Miami's doing an in-home with him tonight. I think that's before he's supposed to get on the plane to come to Arizona. Clearly, they're trying to get him to not go on that plane. I have a few texts out to see if they even expect him to wind up on campus. The Tennessee visit was already canceled. I don't see Damian Martinez coming here. I think if you could get him on campus, that's cool, whatever. But everyone thinks he's going to Miami.
All right, now again, listen. All right, Adam Prem. Adam Prem. This is very
He's
good
right.
point.
Adam's right, by the way.
You take him, I get it, but I would use that money elsewhere. That's the best way that I would put it. I love the running back unit. Period. Point blank. Jason.
You don't break the bank for him. Like you don't say, okay, we're going to spend money on Damian Martinez, but man, it's going to be really hard to land a good lineman or a good corner or whatever. If you can land Damian Martinez for a reasonable price, you go out and do it, Mike. The guy's he's the top player in the portal.
All right, Rudy Martinez. Now, let's see here. Oh, Palmer Hoffman with a great remark. Does Damian Martinez know there are no Del Tacos in Miami? That's one of those things, after you sign the contract, there's probably some buyer's remorse.
Are there no Del Tacos?
I'm not sure. I did not know that there's no Del Tacos. Are there no Del Tacos in Seattle, by the way?
Right now.
Yeah.
There are. I don't think there are.
Holy moly, dude! Not a good look.
I'm looking. There are not any in Miami. Wow.
I cannot believe that. That is not that is not good. By the way, we got to give Ricky Garrett a very big shout out about Circle K yesterday. This with Circle K, get a load of this. He tweeted this at me. He said that he was on his way to Fry's to get gas, and he decided out of loyalty to Circle K, he was going to back the K and come all the way back to Circle K. That's got to give him a lot of credit on that one. Ricky Garrett is a real one. Circle K appreciates Ricky Garrett.
Yeah, hey, Ricky Garrett's, he is the inner circle.
All right. So again, they're, I don't know really what else to say other than the fact that if there's no Del Tacos there, and if you're in are there Del Tacos in Seattle?
I didn't see one. But
do you think that's another reason the Jets aged a little bit?
Let me see. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot.
Are there a lot of Del Tacos in Seattle?
Seattle itself, no, but actually, no, dude. In all of Washington, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Del Tacos in the entire state.
Wow, that's not good. That is not good.
Wow.
Kip Bennett, we are going to get to Deion Sanders here in a few minutes. All right, but now let's get back to some Arizona football, though. Again, you got to give Brent Brennan a lot of credit here because he's done a pretty darn good job of keeping this roster together. I mean, I think I was like everybody when you're like, all right, well, here we go. And especially too, when you look at stats, when you look at schools where they've lost players, they've taken a significant chunk of players with them. That's not been the case. Again, you lost a few, but I got to give them a lot of credit.
I think people are realizing in real time, and I posted this on the board, that this coaching staff isn't stupid. Right. Like, and I'm not saying that people thought they were stupid. I just think that people are realizing they know what they're doing.
Right.
The recruiting department here that Arizona has with Geiska and Fletcher Kelly, it's very good. Right. Like Geiska is very organized, and I've worked with a lot of these guys or talked to them and whatever. It's they know what they're doing. Like, they know what they need. They know what they're going for. They're not just sitting around. They're aggressive in what they want. They know. And the thing that really sticks out is, like, yesterday, Josh Oglesby, the offensive line coach, had a presser, and it's like I asked the players, what's the difference, right? And every single time you ask a player what the difference between the last staff and this staff is, the first thing that comes up is they're just more personable. Like, they're people. And Brennan said it, and Matt Adkins said, he goes, we treat them like people. Like, they're not just currency. And I think that it's paying off in the way that the team stayed together and the way they're able to recruit.
I also got to give Circle K a lot of credit for it, because the Circle K that is on 6th Street, that is something that I think Brent Brennan is likely taken care of as well. You would agree?
Do you think that when you saw Johnny Nansen and Bill Norton yesterday,
They were into that,
they were on their way to Circle K?
They weren't that far away. I saw Johnny Nansen and Big Bill Norton. We're going to get to that in just a second. But first, I would be shocked if they weren't part of the Inner Circle. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details and the Arizona Lottery. Maybe Johnny Nansen was in the United States. Maybe Johnny Nansen was in Arizona, and he's saying, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to win the Arizona Lottery while I'm at this. Do you think that could have been part of the calculation?
Yes, I think he entered the United States just to win the Arizona Lottery.
Yes, he did. He entered the United States. The Arizona Lottery, like Johnny Nansen, is not just about playing games and winning prizes. It's about giving back to the state and the community. Visit azadventure.com for more information on how you can take an adventure for a chance to win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes. I saw BBN and Johnny Nansen yesterday at the Graduate, and here's where I knew. I was walking, and Johnny Nansen had his hat very low, kind of like this. He had his hat very low, and then I looked, and I was like, wait a second, that's BBN. Because BBN was all decked out. It looked really cool. He had like one of those like cut off like shirts with like a long sleeve thing under it. But I recognized BBN, and then I'm like, who's this guy next to BBN? And lo and behold, it was Johnny Nansen. So Johnny Nansen, I saw what you were up to at the Graduate. BBN, I don't know what's going on there, but either way, I spotted them. And Johnny Nansen knows that I spotted him as well, because he looked away very quickly. I was not going to forget this, though, Johnny Nansen. Okay, now let's talk now a little bit of portal players. Everybody from Colorado has entered the transfer portal. This is fantastic. I very much enjoy making fun of Colorado football, because I am tired of hearing the Deion stuff. It is nonstop. It is everywhere. Deion this, Deion that. They finished last in the conference last year. Cormani McClain, the number 1 DB in the entire country last year, has entered the portal. The only starter on the offensive line has entered the portal. It's gotten so bad that Deion's kids are now soliciting players to, or solicited, is that the right? Well, whatever. Is now telling players to DM them, to get in their DMs if they're interested in coming to Colorado. This is fantastic. I love watching Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffalo like beetles on their back.
Yeah, that one's weird, right? Like, I think it's embarrassing when your sons go and they're like, yeah, that's weird. This is the issue. So Deion goes to Colorado. He goes, look, we're getting 80% transfers. Literally, that's what he's on record as saying. I want 80% transfers, graduate, undergraduate, and then 20% high school kids. You treat kids like currency. This is what happens. Like, this is just it. Like, you recruit over to kids every single year for 1-year rentals. And he said, oh, that's what the NFL does. And the thing is, that's not the NFL. And he said it before. The one quote that really, I think we talked about the show, is when he said culture doesn't matter. You just want to win. And it's like, this isn't the NFL. In college, culture matters.
Right. And culture matters. And that's also too, that here's what and by the way, who is it on there? It has nothing to do with Nebraska, Andy Bryant. It has to do solely with the fact that I don't understand. Colorado has literally in the last 30 years not mattered at all in football or basketball. Last year, Colorado stunk, and we had to hear all nonstop about Colorado and all of this stuff. And Deion is very much of a look at me type guy, obviously. But Scheer, you made a really good point, actually, where you said that with Deion, he goes, well, he says, because all of his players were acting up in class or whatever. And then he has to put something out there about how he said, were you present, but were you really present, or whatever the case may be. Deion does that to get pats on the back for Deion. Now, I think Deion's going to be, they're going to be another 5-win team. I will look forward to watching them be another 5-win team.
I was looking at Vegas over and unders. I couldn't sleep last night.
Right.
And I was looking at Big 12, and I think Colorado is 5.5.
Right.
Dude,
yeah, 5.5.
ASU, the favored money is under 4.5.
By the way, Adam Prim is in here. You need to all follow him on Twitter. Scheer, pull up that tweet really quick. That's still probably my favorite tweet of the new year.
You're the one. You always retweet it.
Yeah, no, I retweet it I try to retweet it once a week. Everybody out there, this is easily my favorite tweet of the year.
I don't know what it is.
It's like A Prim Z or something like that. It's very, very good. It makes me laugh every single time I read it. And it's like the kicking your legs in the air laugh as well, where it's
I don't know. It's like Washington betas. I can't find it.
All right. Well, either way, we'll figure it out. LOL at Prims ZX. Yes, there it is. Find it right now, Scheer. And then we're going to get back to Arizona sports, I promise you. But we need to get back to this first. This is really one of my favorite things. And if you unpin it again, you will be in a lot of trouble. Scheer, have you found it?
Yeah. Glad the Big 12 fans care about sports. Fun debates already happening in the Pac-12. It was just Arizona fans, Oregon homers, UW betas, deluded USC fans, Deion meat writers, a Utah bubble, the Oregon State damn guy, and that Carlos UCLA guy giving bad takes.
Dude, is that not the best encapsulation of the Pac-12 fan bases?
It is a good tweet.
It's very, very good. If you ever unpin that again, I will not be happy with you. All right, now let's get back to some Arizona football. Arizona is going to have to go portaling as well, but there are certain positions that I think Arizona is okay with. Now, people have asked about Cormani McClain. Somebody said in here he's too small. I would take Cormani McClain, but I would imagine Cormani McClain is going to cost a lot of money, Jason Scheer.
I wouldn't touch him. Wouldn't.
I get it.
I know he's talented. Not worth it.
You think he's a putz?
Yeah, just openly complaining throughout the season. He's got an active parent on Twitter. Not worth it.
Well, that's the other thing, too. As much as I like beating up on Deion a little bit, Deion probably knows how to coach defensive backs.
Yeah, I just don't think.
All right, so you don't want
to. Don't get me wrong. It's just not
one
worth
thing
it.
that I am bummed about, I think one of the underrated parts that Arizona lost in all of this is Jordan Shaw, the kid at Washington. I think he's going to start, and I think he's going to be a monster. I wish Arizona
yeah, he's been really good at Washington. They're basically going three corners because he's good.
Yeah, he's really, really good. It would be very funny if Price Hawk didn't actually start, but we will find that out. Okay, now would Jed pick up his phone if you two called him? No, he would not. He would not. He would
pick up the phone if I called him.
He was the IU transfer. Dominic Williams. Oh, we're going to get to that. All right, now as far as portal names go, Arizona is going to be very, very active in the portal. We all know this, so we'll keep it there. And now, let's get to a little bit of Arizona basketball. Here's the deal. I believe that Joson Sanon is going to be Tommy Lloyd's first one-and-done high school lottery pick. I'm all in. I've watched him a lot. He reminds me a lot. I can't remember who it was that I think it was Arizona Net who said Michael Dickerson. He reminds me a lot of him. I watched Joson Sanon, and I think you guys are still missing the boat on him. There aren't 10 better prospects in the country, Scheer. I think he comes in, and whether he starts or not, I don't really care because I think he's going to be a lottery pick after 1 year. What say you, Scheer?
It was funny. Bossy tweeted me or texted me last night. He said Sanon put up 82 shots in 4 games.
Good.
Not as a bad thing. He was just laughing. And he said he made about 42%. He is a volume shooter. You know, I think in a way, like he's a perfect replacement for Caleb, should Caleb go. Like you're going to add another guard, obviously. But in terms of guys that aren't afraid to shoot, Sanon is shooting that basketball.
I need people like that. I need players like that.
Yeah, like I'm not saying it like it's a negative. Like I always joke, like shoot or shoot. Like that's what he does. And it's good. They need a guy like that. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Caleb. But if Caleb doesn't come back, you know, yeah, it's good. By the way, we have him at 20 now, and it's about right.
I need more alphas.
Yeah,
I need more alphas, less betas. We need this is an alpha that's coming in, especially if he's coming in off the bench. I need more of him. But here's when you look at him though, physically, he's a little bit like KJ and how he he just looks like an NBA player physically. You look at how he moves,
Yeah.
you look at how everything about him. There's other guys that came in here that were, that were highly rated, but Kylan Boswell never looked like somebody that was going to beat, he never looked like an NBA starting point guard, even though he was a 5-star kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sanon looks like that dude.
Yeah. Sanon is an NBA player. You just know what they look like. Look, there's a difference. I always say this, like, not all 5-stars are created equal, right? And also there's good college players. Like Kylan Boswell was supposed to be good in college. He still might. But nobody thought he was gonna, well, some people did, but the people that had seen him for years knew that he's not an NBA guy or a high level NBA guy, right? Like you could tell. Sanon is different. Like you look at him and you're like, okay, I absolutely could picture this guy in the NBA.
Yes. Now, and let's talk a little bit about Carter Bryant then. I believe, and this is not a slight, I don't care where the rankings are, I believe Carter Bryant is a 2-year player. But again, I think sometimes people look at that as a diss. I don't look at that as a diss at all. I think that Carter is going to be a very good player, but I think he's going to be kind of I think you coined the phrase, and I think it's actually a good one, where he is going to be somewhat of a, how do I put this? He's going to have like a KJ Lewis impact as a freshman.
Yeah, like he's going to have games where he probably plays 10 minutes because he's not strong enough or not playing well, whatever. And there's going to be games where he plays 25 minutes because he's on fire. That's just the way it is. And could he start at the 4? Theoretically, yeah, probably, but you would have struggles at times. And so I think for Arizona's perspective, you want to add a veteran that could also teach Carter, where you don't have to put that pressure on Carter right away.
Yeah, I think he's going to be kind of a hybrid 3-4 that first year. Now, again, going forward, he's going to be when he's in the NBA, he's going to be a perimeter player, obviously. But you also got to remember too, the COVID year is still very, very much a thing. These are grown men. Carter Bryant's going against Mike Luke and Jason Scheer out here, grizzled veterans that are very strong and imposing. So when you're 18, it's not quite the same thing. So again, it's okay. And in the Big 12, this is a man's league, Jason Scheer.
Yeah, I mean, someone posted pictures of the 4s in the Big 12. Just go Google like KJ Adams
235.
Yeah, like KJ Adams flexing or who Iowa State started. Like they're just big, strong dudes. It is not a knock on Carter whatsoever. You're just saying, okay, Carter, go guard this 23-year-old at the 4. It's not easy.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that. So again, guys that are multi-year players, there's nothing wrong with that. And again, Carter Bryant's still going to be looked at. He's still going to be drafted as somebody that's got a high level of potential. Carter Bryant's not coming in here, and if he stays 2 years, they're like, well, he's maxed. He's Stanley Johnson. There's nothing wrong with being here 2 years.
Yeah, nothing wrong. I would prefer him be here for 2 years for my own selfish reasons. And also, it's not bad when a player tries to realize some more potential in college. You don't have to just run to the NBA.
All right, now let's talk Trey Townsend. Scheer, are you still dead set against adding Trey Townsend?
I was never dead set against it.
I mean, you weren't in on it.
I have skepticism.
Okay, all right. Are you still skeptical?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What are you? All right. So the visit, though, Arizona needs, if you could take Trey Townsend right now, yes or no, are you taking him?
Yes. Yeah.
From an overall impact perspective, this is what I want next. Is he better, the same, or equal to the space threat, the court spacer that is Keshad Johnson?
Okay, this is actually a
good question.
It's a tough question, and let me explain to you why. I think Trey Townsend is a better scorer. 100%. Okay? I don't think he will come close to defending like Keshad did. I can see the rebounding numbers similar. It's tough, man. I think for what Arizona needs in terms of offense, if you believe that he is a better shooter than he has shown, and Arizona does, if you believe that he is better and more efficient offensively than he has shown, and Arizona does, then yeah, I think he makes a bigger impact than Keshad.
All right. Keshad Johnson, I do not want to get, because there's a lot of scurrilous people out there, a lot of people that put words in your mouth that aren't really there. Oh, we're gonna get to some Arizona women's basketball. Erica dropping the ball here, but with Keshad Johnson, he was a good player for Arizona. He was a very good player. But I think the theory of Keshad Johnson is actually kind of outpacing the actuality of Keshad Johnson, in that, like I said, I thought he was going to come in here, and I know you did too, and that he was just going to be this kind of this junkyard dog, this balls to the wall.
We both agreed that this dude was averaging 14 and 7 and felt comfortable saying it. I said he would challenge for player of the year.
That he was going to be an energy dude. And again, he was good. He was good, but he was never. There was probably half the games in this season where he was 7-3. You didn't really notice him. And for somebody that I thought was going to be an energy guy, that's still, he wasn't quite what I thought he was going to be. So I think the theory of Keshad Johnson is a little bit bigger than the actuality.
I think in college basketball, one of the most valuable things you can have is a guy that can guard multiple positions. And that is actually where Keshad's value really came in. That you could go in and like
he couldn't guard Deron Holmes.
Huh?
He couldn't guard Deron Holmes.
Yeah, he did. That's why they won. What are you talking about?
He went right at him.
No, they
had KJ on him half the time.
Dude, they went to Keshad at the 5 late in the game, and Dayton couldn't do anything.
The first thing they did is throw the ball over the top to Deron.
That was one play. He didn't score the last 4 minutes of the game.
Multiple plays, Joson Scheer. Multiple plays.
No. By the way, to the guy saying Michael Brea, that's not even his name. Come on.
What is his name? Yeah, no one could guard Holmes. Yeah, I get it.
Kobe Brea.
But go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, you got to be able to guard. Honestly, that's the one thing more than the offense that concerns me with Townsend. And I don't know if he can guard because Oakland played 95% zone.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. It's okay. I was skeptical of Caleb Love.
Yes, you were skeptical of KJ Lewis, Caleb Love, Jaden Bradley.
I was kind of right on Caleb Love.
No, you weren't.
He was awesome, but at the end of the day, he shot Arizona out of multiple games.
Dude, no, that whole team fell apart. Get out of there. He was a Wooden Award. He made a list as one of the top 10 players in college.
What did he do the last 2 weeks of the season?
Oh, you know what? He didn't play well. I get it.
I like him. No, I like him. I don't want to give off the impression I would take him back in a heartbeat. I'm just saying you win by the hand of Caleb Love and you lose by the hand.
By the way, is Cody Williams coming back for Colorado? He is not declared yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
If he does,
I hope so.
If he does come back, then that's a clear win for me.
No. The way you change is awesome.
What do you mean?
Sucks.
He sucks?
He sucks. No, he doesn't suck, but I win. He was not nearly as good as he thought he would be freshman year. We're not doing this again.
We will continue to do this. Cody Williams. All right, you guys are all wrong. Cody Williams will have the last laugh, no matter how many people say that Cody Williams sucks. All right, now, with Umar Ballo, leader of men, we have to give good for Umar. But one thing I got to ask you is this. I get asked this all the time, and I do not have an answer for it. I'm going to put it on you on the spot again, Scheer, because I don't think you know either. How is Umar Ballo, leader of men, getting $1.2 million, but Zach Edey says that he can't get bubble gum?
Okay, I don't know what Zach Edey is complaining about. There are now ways to get international players NIL. Look at Kirk Kriisa doing commercials, right? He's getting paid. Umar did some commercials. It depends on your visa. It depends on your workaround. There's a big workaround where you could get paid overseas. So in other words, Umar could sign some deal with some European company and they could give $1 million and that's legal. There's ways around it. I don't know what Zach Edey's complaining about.
Do we think that Zach Edey might be fibbing a little bit?
Yes, I think he's absolutely fibbing a little bit, and fibbing. I'm looking at the Pitt rosters.
Pitt roster?
Yeah, the Portsmouth Invitational. Remember when that was big? No Arizona.
Yeah. Oh, that's still a thing?
Yeah, I didn't know either until just now. No Arizona players in the port, but Jermaine Cuisinart is in there.
He's not in. Oh, I thought you said in the portal for a second. I was going to say
no. Dude,
26.
it's funny. He's on a team, Mike, with him and Aaron Estrada. How many shots will that team take again?
By the way, Aaron Estrada turned out to be really good.
Really good, strong word. But he's
Yeah,
good. He's not bad.
He was good. He was good. Okay.
He's not.
KJ Lewis, again, I am back to this. I do not want KJ Lewis declaring for the draft. Somebody on there, on your message boards, put it really, really well. And it wasn't Meltdown. But somebody else put it this really, really, really well, where he said, I'm through all of this. There's no loyalty anymore. Back in the day when you're like, yeah, I encourage the kid to go out there and try to get the best information for himself. I say no more of that. This is about us, not them. We want them back at the University of Arizona. I do not want KJ Lewis declaring for the draft. I do not want anything to do with him getting poked and prodded by these officials. None of this.
Yeah, so first of all, he has until April 27th. So we still have 10 more days of this. I don't care when a player like Caleb Love declares for the draft because I know what his feedback is. He probably knows what his feedback is. It's the guy like the Dalen Terrys, right? Like this has potential to be a Dalen Terry situation.
Dalen or Dallin?
Dallin. I was talking to someone who works with an NBA team. And he said he would be guaranteed.
Would he maybe have the false title of a GM?
Now he is.
Okay.
But he said a two-way contract would be easy, and anything beyond that would be like how he tests and interviews and all that. But he said, and the question is like,
he's going to test really well, though.
Does KJ want just a two-way contract? You know what I mean? Like he has to decide what he wants. Like his value would be considerably higher. And I'm not just saying this for selfish reasons. His value would be considerably higher if he comes back, plays 30 minutes a game for Arizona, and then leaves.
Well, so would Dallin Terry's, but Dallin, we're joking. We're
inside joke.
Brad Allis always says Dallin Terry. It bothers me. I do not why. Brad is a very smart man. I do not know why he says Dallin Terry, but he says Dallin Terry. So we will call him Dalen Terry, his actual name. Dalen Terry, though, could have been a higher pick as well, but he went 18.
Which is high.
Draft.
Yeah. No, I would be worried. I'd be worried.
All right.
I'll say it. Arizona fans are going to worry anyway. If he declares, it's absolutely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I do not like this at all. Back the Dalen. Yes, exactly. That also was you also have to go out and get another guard then at that point, or another perimeter player, and actually somebody who's good.
Yeah, I mean, they can't, from what I understand, here's some portal news for all you. There's about 3 post guys that they're focusing on. Trey Townsend is a priority by far. I happen to know one of the others. I'm not saying it on here, but Trey Townsend is the priority, right? They can't recruit guards yet. They can't do it because they have Jaden, they have KJ, they have Sanon, and if Caleb comes back, you're screwing it up. If you add someone and someone leaves, you're screwing it up. So basically, they're sitting and waiting for Caleb Love to make a decision. Now, I think what people forget is that Caleb is going to be in a large group of dudes that either go to the NBA or go back to college. So everybody that's declaring is also entering the portal, right? And so there's going to be some really good players available. It's just going to take a little longer.
I love KB Thiel. Please be the Syracuse guy. KB Thiel, who's never seen the Syracuse guy, and whoever.
He's going to Duke, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want him. All right, now, but you know what? I do want the BetMGM Sportsbook app, Jason Scheer. Listen, the BetMGM Sportsbook app is where it's at. Scheer, you use the BetMGM Sportsbook app.
Yes, absolutely.
So does the great Jacob Franklin. And again, if Scheer uses it, if the great Jacob Franklin uses it, you can use it as well. Sign up for BetMGM. Use bonus code PHNX. Place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app for at least $10. You'll receive $1,500 in bonus bets if the bet loses. Check out the show notes for details. And now let's hear Shane Diefenbach with the disclaimer.
Bets expire in 7 days. One new customer offer only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Hey, let me ask you this. Is this our BetMGM Sportsbook app? Check it out. And what else do we have here? Oh, Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Scheer, I went to the Gila River Resorts and Casinos this past week. It was cool. I did not know. We're going to get to Dylan Mitchell in a second. It's a very good one. I did not know that there's a Top Golf in there as well, but I shouldn't be surprised because it's a fun, immersive experience, Jason Scheer. You should go to the Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Get in on the wave.
Boots on the ground, Mike. You don't just read these promos. You live these promos.
I live these promos. People did not get this. When I showed up there, I was taking pictures. I said real time. Did you know they have a Top Golf in there? I had no clue until I started bringing it up the other day. Very good stuff. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit play@Gila.com for more details. Dylan Mitchell, I messaged you about this when I saw the Texas kid enter. I know they've reached out. Don't know what it means, but I would love Dylan Mitchell. But I think everybody in the country has reached out to Dylan Mitchell. I would take Dylan Mitchell.
Yeah. So sorry, I just got my confirmation on something. I like Dylan Mitchell. If you're worried about offense and that's your excuse for not wanting Trey Townsend, you do not want Dylan Mitchell. Right? Like he cannot, like, I'm just saying for the floor spacers, right? Dylan Mitchell's spacers. For Dylan Mitchell, I'm just saying, and I'm one of them. Dylan Mitchell's a nightmare. He cannot score. He can't do it.
Can we come up with the term? Hey, let me ask you this. Are the people that only rely on floor spacing, that only care about that, are they the same as the per 48 people that believe that,
yeah,
they good. Are. They're the same person.
I like analytics. I'm just saying, do you know how many threes Dylan Mitchell attempted last year?
Who cares?
No, I'm just saying, do you know how many?
How many?
8.
Well,
you know how many he made?
How many?
0.
Oh, by the way, Trey Townsend, what did he shoot last year?
No, I'm just saying, like, if your argument, like that I agree with you. If your argument is floor spacing and stuff like that, but you don't want Trey Townsend and want Dylan Mitchell, it makes absolutely no sense.
You know what we need to do? We need to get a team that has absolutely no talent whatsoever, but do we have spacing? So
he was 12 of 32. So at least he can shoot him. And Arizona, I'll say this, Arizona believes that he is a good shooter. Like they believe it's a Keshad situation where, and I know in the sense that Keshad went from not being able to shoot to being pretty solid shooter from 3. They believe Trey Townsend has a higher potential at 3 should he join Arizona. By the way, the confirmation was Damian Martinez's visit was moved to tomorrow.
All right. Now, I was going to say, I thought the test came back negative, but
okay. No, I'm still waiting for the test. And speaking of tests, Mike, Shelby and I talked about it. We brought this dude to the vet yesterday to get shots. Okay.
All right. He's not a pug.
Hold on. I said, what type of dog is he? And they said, well, yes, he's got some pug in him. Okay. Now listen, but they said it's definitely not all pug. There's some other stuff in there. And then they go, you need to get the DNA test. And I was so I was like, fine. So we're gonna get the DNA test and find out what this dude is. He's got some pug in him.
I don't see it at all, man. I don't see it. Hey, remember when you were just trying to put its butt in the face of the camera to prove that it's...
Yeah, look at his tail. Look.
Yeah, look. Oh, clearly a pug. Look at this. Clearly a pug. Dude, I had a neighbor that would wipe his dog's butt every time it came inside. And he would always say, well, you're right. I was like, what the heck is that? And he would always say, well, I mean, there's always going to be something there. Why wouldn't you do it? And I'm like, I will not do this.
Yeah. Why would you just wipe a dog's butt when you don't have to? They're animals.
Yeah.
They lick their own butts too.
Yeah, they're animals. Noah. All right, Noah, we appreciate this. I agree with you. Now, again, I'm cool with having guys that can space the court, but this will be a until I've beaten down everybody out here that is wrong about this. I do not care about somebody that is shooting 1 or 2 threes per game. That means nothing. Keshad Johnson shot 40% from 3. He believes that he did not space the court. You would agree with this, Scheer?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So again, don't miss me with all of that. TLN, one thing we got to tell you about this is that I need portal names other than Townsend. This staff is very, very, very secretive. Murph has still not returned to my text. And when I do see Murph, I'm not kidding with you. I'm going to go up to Murph and I am going to flick his ear. I'm not kidding with you.
I saw him walking into football. He was on the phone with someone, and he goes like this, and then he literally turns the corner and walks away. That's just how the staff operates. I'll know names, and I know this sucks, but we'll find out the name basically. Like if the kid's scheduled to be on campus, we'll know. But until that happens, we probably won't know. I know Arizona has reached out to Dylan Mitchell. I don't know how serious it is.
I was the one that broke that to you, by the way.
Yeah, but I know Arizona's reached out to a couple other guys. I just don't know. Like Arizona's reached out to Kobe Brea. Someone asked, are they going to get Kobe Brea? No, they're not.
Okay, by the way, Kobe Brea, that is a real shooter. That is not a fake good shooter. Kobe Brea is a space person or a space person. He hangs out with Elon Musk. Kobe Brea, I almost said Kobe Thiel. Kobe Brea is a three-point shooter. That is somebody that can space the court.
Let's go in the comments. I'm going to ask people a question. Let's get some numbers. What do you think Kobe Brea's going rate is in the transfer portal this year?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I know the answer. The portal's out of control. As we see, I love Umar, but my man made $1 million.
Good. What does Kobe Brea go for? 400,000?
900. He goes for about 5. Starting, asking.
Must be nice. But again, he's actually a really good shooter. Here, again, I'm going to go on my soapbox here. I'm going to say it one more time. Pelle Larsson. Always heard about Pelle Larsson shooting 43% from 3. How many times would teams dare Pelle Larsson to shoot a 3, Scheer, and he would pass it up or pass it to somebody else? It happened all the time.
Is there value in pure shooters anymore?
If you're an actually good shooter, like an actual Kobe Thiel is a good shooter.
What does Kobe Brea do besides shoot?
Nothing, but you have to have somebody all the way out on him. That is actually a spacer. I agree with you.
That's fair.
That's an actual spacer. But somebody like Pella does not space the court. Teams dared Pella to shoot.
The Pella slander today is unacceptable.
By the way, why hasn't he declared yet?
Because I'm trying to convince him to coming back.
Oh, gosh.
We're at the 4. Why are we recruiting Trey Townsend? We have a 4.
Right.
Pelle Larsson, starting power forward.
Pelle Larsson, starting power forward. Yes, at the U of A. Oh, can you imagine in the Big 12?
Why? Why not?
Oh, by the way, we're up to 250 lives right now. Very, very thankful for
It'll be like 26.
What's that?
Pelle will be like 25.
Well, here's the other thing. By the way, Charles Barkley, this is totally off topic, but it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. So I'm watching Inside the NBA. By the way, Erica Day is coming back on tomorrow. We're going to have an Erica Day and Kobe Thiel show where they just hug it all out and they just say, I love you, because they are two of my favorite people. Wow. We agree on this, Scheer, right?
Yes, that's a good show.
Yes, we should. Okay. Charles Barkley. So they're talking about Giannis, and the first thing he says is, or they quote Shams, and he says, why are we listening to some guy named Shams? He said, why would I listen to anything a guy named Shams has to say? That is such a good point.
By the way, speaking of NBA news, because now I'm following the NBA.
Yes.
You see Zion is hurt. I know he got hurt yesterday. He's out. He's out now for weeks.
Yeah, I know. And you know what's funny? That was the first game where you're like, all right, is he really starting to get this?
Yeah, like he's dropping 40 and then he misses the last 2 minutes with an injury and he's out on Friday too.
And it's always something weak too. It's like a soft tissue injury or something. So yeah, he's out. I believe who do the Knicks I was going to say the Knicks, you do not want to play the Heat, Jason Scheer.
It doesn't matter, Mike. My boys are on a whole nother level.
Yes. All right. That is fair. Jalen Brunson, very good. But how has nobody ever actually come up with that point, though? Why would you listen to an insider named Shams?
Man, I got some good Shams stories.
Do you?
Yeah, should I say it?
I don't like him or Woj. They both strike me.
Go ahead.
Let's see here.
Who is the dude that was arrested with ties to Michigan State during the whole FBI thing?
Who was that? I know exactly who you're talking about.
It was Dawkins, right?
That wasn't who I was thinking of.
It was Christian Dawkins. So I got Dawkins' phone records because they made him available. And I would estimate that he had about 500 calls to Shams.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me. He's a sham artist.
And I was like, Shams, why is he calling this dude so much?
Would Steve Kerr ever come to coach college? No, he does not want to come coach college. I do like when somebody said, would he come here to be an assistant?
He'll, what?
Right. That
Is
would be
real?
absolutely fantastic, dude. I love the thinking here. The, let's see, Browns for Warnell.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I tweeted they'll need a safety sooner than later. That was Warnell. Look, they're going to lose other guys. I don't think they're going to lose anybody big. And what's cool about Arizona is they wait till 5 o'clock every single day.
You know what, Arizona, one thing that we can say about this staff, Jason Scheer, this is a staff of integrity, a staff leadership, morals, character. That moral compass is literally crystal clear.
Yes, similar to us. You know, we are very, in terms of morals, we're right here.
We are very good, and we are here for you, and that's also why we have all the listeners keep you in line. By the way, PHNX stuff, Jacob Franklin, there is something, I believe you have a PHNX thing for me to throw up there. Let's see, I think there's a watch, a golf event. All right, second annual Keeping It 100 Golf Classic, May 10th Scramble, Dobson Ranch Golf Club. Ooh, all kinds of good stuff. Jacob Franklin, are you going to be participating in this?
Yeah, I will be.
Ooh.
Jacob, do you have to get custom clubs because you're 6'11"?
I'm 6'7", and yes, my clubs are 2.5 inches over standard length.
See.
What kind of clubs do you have, Jacob Franklin? Stay in here, dude.
I swing pings.
Oh, you have pings? I have pings as well. Hey, guess what I just got the other day, too? I got a knockoff Big Bertha driver. I am going to use this thing and look so cool
Dude,
with it.
you know Shelby's dad used to work for Ping.
Did he really?
Yeah, like that was his job his whole entire life. And I'm not kidding. His last name is Irons. And in his room, I swear to God, is wood and whatever the other golf club is.
Oh, by the way, this is very funny. Jacob uses the foot wedge. I can totally see Jacob Jacob do it. You're accusing Jacob of this is good. This is good. Ryan Mitchell. Again, these are why we rely on you. Reggie Miller is awful. He is maybe my least. He and Casey James are my least favorite broadcasters for different reasons.
The worst.
Yes, we need to. You know, this is very true. Turbo Twin Infinity. The Pauly kid's very high character.
Very.
Very. We like that. Yeah, we do. We do like that.
Leader of men everywhere.
There are leaders of men. Noah Fafita, leader of men. We agree.
Yeah. What kind of question is that?
All right. So, all right. We did a lot of good work today. Scheer will be back with us. On Friday. Basically, I told Scheer we are penciling Scheer in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless I hear otherwise. Erica Day will be back on tomorrow as well in the last 15 minutes. We didn't get a full recap of Country Thunder and all the debauchery that went on at Country Thunder. We need to hear all about that.
Pictures. Maybe some pictures of Jacob, and you can put them up on the screen.
Pictures, everything. Exactly. I wanted to say also real quickly, Noah, very good point. BBN made when I saw BBN, I wanted to just talk about I wanted to just say, dude, this was such a cultural hit with you leaving. That was the best way to put it. It hurt the culture.
I have a question. Here's a good question, real quick, before we go up. You got to choose one player to come back, Dylan or BBN. Who do you choose?
Oh, Dylan.
Wow.
Dylan, I had but here's the thing. Here's why it's different. Everybody knows BBN is actually good. Most people believe Dylan sucks. I am going to have the last laugh. That is why I am all in on Dylan.
Wow. Mike's saying Dylan sucks, and that's why he wants him back.
No. I did not say this.
You just said Dylan sucks and he wouldn't scare off a 4-man. That's why I wanted him back. BBN is too good for Arizona.
No, I said that everybody.
That's what you said.
I said that everybody. No, stop putting words in my
mouth. Play the music.
Here's what I said. I said that everybody knows that or everybody knows that BBN is good. Most people think that Dylan sucks. They are wrong. I am invested in Dylan.
Well, we're going to find out when he goes to Washington for whatever.
So I would rather have Dylan back because I believe Dylan is good. Also, I was telling somebody behind the scenes a little bit. And by the way, the Dylan's people, you got to give Dylan's people a lot of credit. Them in Arizona have been on very good terms, Jason Scheer, talking each other up. This is people of quality. You got to give them a little support there.
Yeah, they are talking positive about each other. There's no bad blood.
There's no bad blood at all, so we should all root on Dylan. I don't want Dylan to go to Washington, though. But this is not a shameless plug. I actually messaged Caliendo, and I said, hey, can we still be friends? And he said yes.
New phone, who dis?
Yeah, no, he said that, and then I told him, I said, I will call you, and I have Frank Caliendo's number. But he's also performing in Nebraska next month. I saw that Norwalk, Nebraska. What's he doing there? But anywho, all right, Scheer, we did really good work. Got up to 270 lives. You guys are all fantastic. You're doing very, very good work. All right, Scheer, where can they find you doing your work?
WildcatAuthority.com, Wildcat Scoop Podcast with Shelby at Jason Scheer on Twitter.
All right, and the great Erica Day is breaking all women's basketball news for Wildcat Authority. This is correct.
Yeah, all day, 24/7. Erica never misses news for Wildcat Authority.
We need that, Erica Day, the great Erica Day. All right, let's see. Dennis Walsh, back the A, back the lives, back the Scheer, Mike, and the great Jacob Franklin. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you this. There was a super snap that came in yesterday. The second Erica came on the air. Super snap.
Did Erica just have a meltdown?
Sure, I'm gonna. What does KMS mean? Is this
kill myself? It means kill myself.
Wow, no, we don't want that. Oh, I need a Caliendo Mike Luke impression. We do not want a Caliendo.
Yeah, if Caliendo can do me. If he can do me, he can do.
He wishes he could.
I mean, he could do us both.
Yeah. No, not going to happen. All right. On that note, we will be back with you tomorrow. You will be seeing Scheer on Friday. The great Erica Day will be joining us about 11 with a lot of women's basketball tidbits and insider nuggets. But for Jason Scheer, the great Jacob Franklin, I am merely Mike Luke. You have been listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.